now return you to the Children of Primus.
You're on stage.
There we go. We are live with the slow start from the platform once again. So welcome back, Teletran 2, as we are did the unboxing of Omega Prime and is now currently being operated on.
Yep,
Operation, you're the wacky doctor.
I'm just saying, with the lighting and everything on Fear's screen there, he does look like the wacky doctor.
I know,
Kind of looks like the doctor scene in the Batman '89 when he's giving Joker plastic surgery.
Wow.
I got 4 out of 6 screws out. Let me just pop this up so you can see what I'm doing. So I got to get his whole back end off. And so I got to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those 6 screws got to come out. Then this pops right off. Then I can get at the component that's in the middle of him that needs to be sanded down. So, we're getting there.
That is
Trying
crazy.
not to strip any of these screws and so forth.
Yeah, that would be important.
Mm-hmm.
And,
yeah, Anthony, don't you have from the first TF1 Loki set what were the generics called that kind of looked like the Viacons?
Death trackers. No, I don't have any TF1.
Okay,
I don't have any TF1 Lokis, unfortunately.
Swindle.
So I swapped the heads of Primal and the Death Seeker. So my Death Seeker's been working out and grown a lot of body hair. Meanwhile, someone when overnight when Primal was sleeping, shaved all of his body hair off.
It's called an error.
So all that was, I just swapped the heads temporarily.
Swindle says, I've swindled myself into your stream again. Now I wonder if we should blame Swindle for the slow starts for both of the streams.
Yeah, no kidding.
And Kuga, welcome Kuga, has said, Fear, make sure you don't mix up the short and long screws.
Oh, yeah. That's why I got I got them all on the tape here so that I can see which ones are which, and I know where the short screws go versus the long screws. I only got 2 of them left, but these ones are proven to be the most challenging. Trying hard not to strip them.
Seems a little
I
screwy
might
to me.
use a trick that Kuga specifically mentioned where, I get a rubber band and put them in there so that there's a little bit more resistance between the screwdriver.
Mario mentions that we missed a comment in regard of Studio Series 86 Megatron. Let's see. Light accessories, like what we see now, but he doesn't have the purple blaster, which he shot Prime 4 times with, and the mace, which did not see.
Yeah, he just has, he comes with his fusion cannon, the like lightsaber type weapon he slashed Optimus's side with, and a replica of his own gun mode for figures to hold. And also you can take the cannon off of his back off too, the little gray one that goes above his shoulder, it looks like.
Well, I guess with all the details and time that everyone waited for this Megatron, why didn't they include that little side gun that he used in the movie?
Yeah, I don't know, budget, I guess. Saving it for a multi-pack, maybe?
Or, a third party is going to come out and exactly do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm sure Non-F is already drawing up plans.
Yeah, they probably didn't include it so they could, Hasbro could afford to give, what's his name, the CEO, Chris Cox, his next new yak. That's why Megatron doesn't come with, Studio 86 Megatron doesn't come with the extra guns.
So, Fear,
Yeah.
Magnus being a car carrier, you saying it's from the RID series?
Yeah. Oh, that's a good comment there.
Yeah,
I saw.
he can
Read
hold,
those out to me because I can't really look.
deluxes.
Yeah, I can loosen the screws by over-tightening them a little bit. Yeah, so this is from the 2001 series.
Wasn't that like really car-based? Like, Wasn't it called like car something in Japan?
Car robots in
Yeah,
Japan.
car
Yeah, the
robots.
whole purpose of RIDO 1 was Japan was trying to, after the failures of like Beast Machines, they're like, oh, well, let's get back to having like the vehicle alt modes, especially the cars. These still had like Beast characters on the bad guy side, so it wasn't like an entire 360 back to what G1 did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Okay,
But
so
yeah, it was a lot more car based, especially with the Autobots.
that being said, and that being about the same size as the original, would the cars of that line scale well to sit on Ultra Magnus as a car carrier?
that's a good question. You know what? Let me take a second. I left some deluxe cars up behind me specifically so I could see if they fit. So this gives me a moment's rest when it comes to trying to get these screws out. They're Velocitron, I mean not Velocitron, Toxitron Sideswipe fits pretty nicely in there. So you can hold a deluxe car in the back of him.
So Kuga also had a comment for you, said you can also use a rubber band between the screw head and driver to gain grip without stripping.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go get a rubber band. I'll be right back.
Oh, that reminds me. Speaking of having screws have grip, like my hose it got a hole in it, so we hadn't. It's been there so long. I couldn't when I tried to go to get the hose off. The actual faucet turns with it in the brick wall. So I'm gonna have to get someone like maybe my neighbor who's in Air Force and have him hold a wrench one way while he turns left and I turn to keep the faucet in place while I turn with the hose to get it off. Because I tried doing it two-handed and I was like, I need both hands. I need the leverage. Plus, it's the way it's oriented. I would have to use my left hand because what is it? Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. So I'm like,
I mean, you have to use your left hand. You're a switch hitter anyway, ain't you? Thought you gained a stroke in the middle.
Yeah, I hate when those holes gives you a lot of trouble, man. I'm telling you.
And as Motormaster says, Swindle, what did I tell you about bringing me into the stream again? You know, Lord Megatron is going to have my head after this stream.
Come on, man. We're all here
Lord
for the
Megatron doesn't know
Decepticon
won't
propaganda.
For real, eh?
I mean, look at how gray he is. He clearly must be senile.
It's an evil stream today.
It is an evil stream.
Evil is in the eye of the beholder.
Well, Kuga's threw in the comments, Car Robots was also a Diaclone throwback in a big way.
Yeah, the designers said they were trying to reinvent car robots from first principles.
They didn't use real cars, though, did they?
They did, actually, and they got in trouble for it when they brought the line to North America. The three main Autobot cars, Speedbreaker, Mach Alert, and Wild Ride, were a Dodge Viper, Lamborghini Diablo, and some kind of a Mazda van, respectively.
Huh.
And they didn't pursue the licenses for them at all. But then when they brought them over to the U.S., they kind of got a tap on the shoulder about them. So Wild Ride, who was renamed X-Brawn, he had to be retooled. Speedbreaker, who was renamed Sideburn, they struck a deal with Dodge, and I guess nobody cared about the fact that Prowl was a Lambo, but he was a police Lambo, so maybe they were like, close enough.
It was probably part of the deal they made with Dodge because I believe in '99, Chrysler owned Lamborghini still.
Yeah, I was just gonna add in. What makes me laugh is that all these cars are like in the public domain in a sense, and I'm just surprised that they get still ask for permission to use, the likeness and all that, right? Whereas you look at certain cartoon figures, like for example, like Mickey Mouse. Now he's officially in the public domain. Now anyone can use him or that his likeness in any kind of movies, just like they made that some thriller or horror movie not too long ago with his likeness. So I'm still surprised that you have to ask permission to use a Lamborghini to be presented in the public.
But you know what? I mean, going with that thought, they probably had some like 100-year, 100-year license on it. So it's like after the 100th year that it's like it's public domain. You can do whatever you want. At that point, they're gonna say, well, most of the original fans have probably passed away. Anyone's borderline really not really a fan. So at this point, they're like, you come out with Mickey Mouse, and everyone would be like, who's really checking for Mickey Mouse? Like, we're not, we're not worried about him now.
Now
He's
that
still
you mentioned
famous.
Mickey Mouse,
He is.
there's a
He
pizza
is, and he
restaurant
isn't.
that's going to be opening soon, and they have the Steamboat Willie Mickey Mouse painted on the side of the building.
Yeah,
I'll
even
have to
Winnie
take
the
a picture
Pooh
of it to
is
share.
Winnie the Pooh's out in the public domain now too, right?
Yeah,
And they
that's
just
why
made
they
a,
had the
yeah,
a horror movie
but
of
the
them as well.
original versions of those, like the Steamboat Willie Mickey Mouse, is what's in public domain, not like Mickey
Not-
Mouse from like the 40s and Fantasia and
Yeah,
up.
like what we grew up with.
So it's just that design that's in public domain. They can't just go and make a Mickey Mouse that looks like 40s and up Mickey Mouse without getting hit for copyright.
Fooey.
Rotten time with these last two gentlemen. Got a rubber band
I
here.
think
Doesn't
what
really
I
seem to
shared
be helping
already.
me.
That
Try not to
Miner
shear them.
says hello. Miner says
Oh,
hello.
hello, Minor Edgar. That is the scholar and gentleman who first helped me actually get this guy. I'm having a rotten time undoing him. I'll tell you what.
Minor,
got-
you were a gentleman of scholar, and there's not too many of us left. Thank you for helping out my friend Anthony.
This is correct.
I
It's a
will
mixed blessing because I'm
add
still
some
out here trying to get these
sympathy
last two screws out. Ugh.
So I obviously I missed Telechan 1. So Anthony, can you please give me a quick codes note to why you're taking all the screws?
There is a defect that is present on every copy of this figure, and that is that there is a part inside his abdomen that is too large, and so when you slide it down, it causes breakage around here. So what I'm trying to do is get his torso undone and pop it out so that I can take some sandpaper to the part and sand it down.
So it's quite an interesting quite an interesting thing when you think about it. And I know in our other Facebook chat with a few other toy collectors, I threw in the question where you look at the Transformers that we bought back in like 84 to 86, or actually even up until the early 90s, even the designs that we weren't fans of. Most of those toys, you got them as they were from the box and barely had any issues. Then you look at this HASLAB's where the amount of money that is required to fund it, put into it and everything, and every single person, is waiting for the package, just like Fear, opens it up, all sorts of issues. And I'm like, I paid hundreds, not myself, but the person saying they paid hundreds and hundreds of dollars, if not more, even up to like, HASLAB's Unicron, and you get it and there's all these issues. And then you have to correct it and do all this and that. And like, how is something at $15 like perfectly fine? Something in the $100 level that everyone funded, all sorts of issues, which we now see Fear correcting on our live stream.
Why can't you return it and get a new
Well,
one?
I mean,
Because the new one's going to have the same issue.
Okay.
It's a
the
limited
people
run
who
toy.
purchased
it's
it off
limited.
HasLab
Like I had
probably
the same
will-
problem
Hold
with
on, one at a time. Hold on, one at a time.
him.
Sorry, Anthony, go ahead.
Yeah, what I was saying was the people that purchased it all out of Hasbro Pulse will probably get like replacement parts or possibly full-on replacement figures. Guys like me, we just gotta, fix it the analog kind of way. Christ.
I was unaware that there were other HasLabs that had issues.
Yeah, I mean, they've always had there's always the odd quality control issue, like there's a duplicate part or somebody's missing a wing or yeah, QC problems happen, and generally they're pretty good about replacing them for people.
Kuga says
It's just that this is like nearly every copy that has this problem.
the thesaurus didn't have any issues, and also says, and honestly, issues with Unicron were overstated.
Oh yeah, like they were not universal. Just like once in a while, somebody gets a bum copy. That happens with like everything.
Yeah, it happens with everything.
Yeah,
Totally agree.
Boy,
But
guy
when
said,
you have
sample size
a
matter.
bum item, normally you send it back and replace it. Get them to replace it, and they send you like a new one, right? That's just in general when you buy something.
In general, but then you've run into the problem here where it's a limited run. So, say, I mean, just for simplistic versions, say you get 1,000 people and they all donated a dollar to create 1,000 of these products, but say 500 of them have issues, they only created 1,000 of them. So, it's either they're going to have to figure out within their budget, which they do have the ability to create another 500 to correct the 500 that had issues. But really, there's only an X amount. There's no others to replace it with.
So the problem with this rubber band approach is that the screwdrivers are actually just piercing the rubber band.
Satum, you wanted to say something? Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, so, and me and Spin had talked about this just one-on-one DMs, but I was talking about how whereas with Acne, this it's a smaller print run. It's only 5,000, and like I said earlier, I had to go back because one of the runners of parts was missing. This is a model kit. The regular one's just like your usual Toygenic bright yellow plastic. This has like the gold finish. And I had to go back, and luckily they had 2 more or so left, so we just opened up the other box because they knew the blokey guy was going to be coming like the following weekend, and you could get the refund back. And they just gave me they pulled the bag of the runners that I didn't have in mind since I had already opened them, and that way we kind of fudged the rules. It's like, oh yeah, this was the copy that didn't have the one bag of runners, and we just they just gave me the bag, and so I would keep my copy that I already opened the bags on. So whereas that what Anthony has, it costs a lot more, but it's like almost 4 times the amount of this. It's like a 5,000. So there's about 20,000 ish of them of that what Anthony has, where there's only 5,000 of this guy. And I had to get a second one, not to any cost to me, because of quality insurance issues. It was sucked. But it's pretty. So that's what I wanted, the gold one. I could have gotten the yellow, the regular one for only $10 from Walmart, and I was like, no, for only not even $10 more at my shop, because they got this Blokies for cheap with who they buy, get the stuff from Blokies direct as a retailer. I got him for less than I would on their own website, Bloki's official website. So I was like, sure, I'll pay them more to get the prettier version of them.
By the way, Mr. O, let's see if you remember this.
Can you blow it up because my eyesight's starting to suck now?
Yeah, I feel you.
Ah, yes, I do. Actually, we had the exact same kit in my grade school.
At school?
Yeah, we used to. I know. One of my classes, on our quote unquote break time, right? Actually, the teacher brought it because we were able to bring one toy each. So during our break time, we were allowed to play with it. And the teacher actually brought that particular one, which is pretty amazing. That you actually have the boxes and everything, and we were all there. Majority of the time, we just threw away our toys, and we ended up playing that, right? So
yeah. Cool. Core memory unlocked there, yeah.
Yeah, oh man, I'm going to start crying now. Good old days.
Oh, hold on, I got one more thing to show you.
Okay. What up, Mr. Spin? Okay, I remember those, but I never saw them in Canada.
Huh. Yeah, that's my sack flapper.
We had different kinds. We had like yeah, I know what you're saying. I know where you're going there. We had like different kind of other characters, right? But I've seen those commercials, but I never saw them here in Canada.
Oh wait, it's got a price on it from that looks like it's from the store. It's just, that can't be right. $24.99.
Ooh.
There's no way that thing costs $25.
There goes half our logo.
Hey, that looks familiar.
That does look familiar.
Actually, I think I got the axe on Megatron's hand.
Actually, let me catch up on the comments.
I might recreate our logo on screen.
That's a video.
Yeah, so Mario says, like Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime in terms of accessories, he comes with the blaster rifle, some blast effects for it, and the one from the scene where he launched in the air while transforming his axe. And let's see, also says, an Optimus Prime in the 86 movie didn't use his axe, same as Megatron didn't use his mace. So why does Studio Series 86 Prime include the axe to begin with?
It's a commander, so they have like infinity budget basically. Well, not infinity, but like extremely high budget. So they have room to include all kinds of new things.
Mario has
Pull
a
up our logo.
comment towards Kuga in terms of how do you feel about Studio Series 86 Megatron being leaked. Kuga also said Victory Saber had a few minor issues with chrome chipping and sword fragility. Mine has a busted grundle. And I do remember a lot of people were complaining about their Victory Saber.
So I got a question for all of you, and especially our fans that are watching this. Because HasLab has been having issues now, or people have reported issues with their Transformers, do you think that's going to hurt HasLab down the road if these issues keep popping up?
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think so.
Well, Anthony says yes, and mentions saying I don't think so.
Well, HasLab's already has some issues in management-wise, I believe. I don't remember if Fair remembers the details in terms of one of their plants closing.
I don't know nothing about that.
It was one of their plants in one of the foreign countries, I believe, was closed. I don't remember all the details, and a lot of people were kind of questioning, well, then what would happen to all their stuff that was being funded? In terms of, they're putting their money together to fund a character. All of a sudden, this manufacturing is now closed. Do we get our money back, or do we lose it, or what happened?
Yeah, I don't think nothing like that's going to be really an issue. Like if stuff's been funded, like they're gonna
Well,
put it out there one way or another.
Yeah, they put it out for all of the current funding. I believe it was like any future projects that was more of the issue. So everything up until like the Omega Prime that you have, they did say that was, that wasn't going to be an issue. But anything future wise is an issue.
So maybe that should be our poll.
There you go. Put the poll up on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, like our poll should be, if HasLab continues having issues with their Transformers that they're selling, is that going to affect them down the road? Meaning, are people going to still buy, or may not buy because of all the issues that are happening?
You know what? That can go into a whole social experiment, because one could say, well, there's a lot of bad music out there, but yet people are still buying it. But does everyone think that music is bad?
Ben, music is someone's taste.
So is Transformers.
Yes. But at the same time too, I would like my Transformers to transform without me putting screws and taking out screws and me fixing it.
Hey, there's some of us on here. anything after 91, they're not touching. Yeah, that's their taste.
What?
The
There goes our logo.
G1 fans, or as as some funny people would say, G1ers.
G whiners. Yep.
I've
Heard
seen
that one
that.
before.
It's like I've seen that logo somewhere before.
Yep. Not familiar at all.
Speaking of that logo, TFCon Toronto coming up second weekend of July. We will be there.
We are.
We are.
Get out.
We will be there live streaming as we
No way.
do every other year or every year.
We did?
We did last year.
Oh shit.
I know. We're gonna do it again. But guess what? Swindle says, "Don't worry, Motormaster, your boy Swindle here got a plan for this problem. I put a big old piano in his doorway, so when he opens it, it will most likely probably crush him and make him super pissed."
Make sure you didn't buy it from HASLAB.
You'll have QC problems.
Exactly.
I hope that bowl is nowhere near that cat.
Oh dear. There's a
Get him,
live,
pepperoni. Get him.
Yeah, I had to make it for a second. It's like, which cat are we talking about? Mine's or Anthony's?
Wait a second. Did the cat just
I don't
steal a
look
part
for
from
the
Omega
elevator.
Prime? Something just got stolen from Omega Prime.
Yeah, man. Whatever
That's it,
that is,
pepperoni.
owns that cat now.
Wow, this is live.
Pepperoni's gonna need a new home now.
This is live. Fear Courage, are you hearing this?
Yep.
Your cat just stole something from the desk.
We just saw a theft in progress.
A theft in progress.
We just witnessed a crime.
Call
Call
1-800
911.
tips.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard all that. I was getting a different set of screwdrivers. I got what she stole. It was the rubber band that I was using.
Anthony, you just got screwed.
Yeah, my cat Shinta likes to steal swords from both my Legacy and Titans Returns, Blitzwings, and my movie Bludgeon.
Wow, the culprit came back.
Yeah, what, you gonna try to steal something else now?
The cat came back.
Well, yeah, the cat came back, clean up the evidence.
She thought it was the gutter.
It left a bloody glove at the crime scene.
Hey, if the gloves don't fit, you must have quit.
Quit.
Yeah,
But if the
apparently
screwdriver
the reason
doesn't
my glove
fit.
didn't quit, I took
I
like
got the
forensic
part right
science.
here.
If you don't store like blood-soaked clothing properly, it'll shrink it permanently. So that's why the gloves were actually smaller than they originally actually were.
That's an
Thank
interesting
you for that
detail.
fine forensic analysis.
Live on Children of Primus.
Yeah, and then I had my roommate, it was his major. So he had to make a foot impression molding cast with plaster is white powder, like a certain drug. So he was going in an alley in Richmond, Virginia, looking for like a footprint in some mud. And he's carrying a big bag of white powder, and one of the VCU police officers sees him carrying a big white bag of powder. And he's like, "Sir, is that cocaine?" No, I'm doing my
Okay, but
college
hold on,
homework.
hold on. When he was
I don't
carrying
look right
that
at the
big
cops
wad
and
of
I wish.
powder, hold on. When he was carrying that big wad of powder, was he doing this by any chance?
It,
know?
it was allergy season. It was spring, so that might have been why. But then his mom, because David was Chinese, his mom kept on giving him crap. He's like, "David, are you selling drugs again?"
Oh dear.
No, Mom, no,
So
no,
like
not at all,
every
Mom.
time
Not
I
at
would,
all.
his mom would visit him, because we had the rooms downstairs. We had all of us had our own restrooms, and then Jung was upstairs. And every time I would hear his aunt like give the joke, I would like burst out laughing, and she's like, "Hi, your white boy roommate found it funny." That's why I repeat it every time.
So Miner says, I
Nice.
wonder if these QC problems introduced somehow after last checks before full production, or they get noticed and someone decides it's worth it to ignore opposed to delay and fix.
Oh, worth it to ignore. Yeah, absolutely. Big companies run by that. I mean, big companies make a mistake that it costs more to go back and fix. They'll just keep trucking. Like Ford in the late 70s, the old Ford Pintos, the gas tank was directly in the back. The whole famous thing about Pintos catching fire when they got rear-ended. Ford never fixed that because it was cheaper to pay out the lawsuits than it was to go back and fix the car.
And you know what? Tech companies like phone companies, for like selling mobile phones, kind of the same mindset where essentially the customers are guinea pigs. Put out that first string of products and services and stuff. If everyone has issues, then they'll repair those issues, put out the second set. But I find with a lot of companies, they won't tell the customers they have issues. Like they'll wait for the customers to complain and then be like, oh, we just put out version 2, but of course it's going to be an extra $79.39 a month for the upgrade.
Don't worry, it's not a tumor.
Not a tumor at all.
No.
Well, this is one of those streams.
By the way, I know there's probably a lot of people tuning in to see the HasLab. We should probably have
it on the screen
up front and personal here more.
I mean, here's the thing. I'm gonna have to
jokes
call
in the
this. I don't think I can get these screws out. Not with anything I currently have.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I just fix everything either with duct tape or a hammer, one or the other.
Windex.
Sounds about on par.
Yeah, there's 2 of them left. There's let me bring them up to the camera here.
Ben, you're Greek now.
There's this one right here, and this one right here. I cannot get them out. I tried the rubber bands.
You probably do you have any eyeglass screwdriver case?
No.
I guess neither you or Jess wear glasses.
Well, she does, but I don't have a supply case for it or anything.
And you never know. I mean, I'll have one. I always forget I have it. But that's what would be my recommendation. If you can't get it tonight, find. And you normally see them even in grocery stores. They'll have them like up front because people always, randomly need them.
Well, that and the mini screwdriver set. Because I mean, for transformers and certain other smaller items and things, it's perfect. Those sets are perfect for such repairs.
Yeah. To Kuga's comment there on the screen, the big problem with the Studio 86 Megatron and Widowmaker reveals there is that the person leaking them is apparently their name is Athena, and they're like a weird creep who does all kinds of questionable stuff. Like they leaked an image, like they've leaked images in the past and then put racial slurs all over them so people wouldn't share them.
Interesting.
Stuff like that. And if the screwdriver is piercing the rubber band, you need a blunter driver. That's what I tried to get with these ones, but they don't seem to be helping me out too much either.
Mario also says the fusion cannon for Studio Series 86 Megatron, like the back part, makes it a little too long.
Oh.
Yeah, I need different tools. I'm gonna call it for now.
Come on, Anthony, you can do it.
You can do it.
You can do it.
All night long.
Like it's not a matter of that. It's the screws are getting like stripped,
Oh no, we suck again.
Vicky showed me her titties and I liked it.
Yeah,
that is a reference of Waterboy. So we're not making any racist tirades towards any cultures or anything.
Yeah, I'm gonna need like.
Oh, we're not.
Jeez.
Where's the fun? You guys just drain the fun out of the whole show, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I'm gonna need a different set of screwdrivers or something for this guy.
Oh, Anthony, since you used to be in the Gunpla, I will say that while they're like actual body parts aren't interchangeable with each other. So this is a Gundam in symbol, and this is a Gundam Converge. The defenders, the Blokies, can hold their weapons as well as the regular Blokies.
Gundam style.
So this is a Dom from the Ensemble Gundam series. Sometimes you can get weapon packs. And they have he has a whole bunch of extra pegs on his back. So if I ever get a weapon pack instead of a mobile suit, I can load him up. There's one on his back of his head. Yeah, his backpack and the back. I guess the belt, the back middle of his belt. Shirt,
When the
so.
comments take on a life of their own, it is fantastic. That was great.
I love
Megatron
when-
is hanged. And I read it and I laughed, and then I saw the name and it was even funnier.
You know what? No, I gotta read it. So Megatron
Oh my
is
god, one of the
angry.
screws is coming out, guys.
There you
Oh,
go.
oh, there we go.
Who did it?
Oh, you did it.
Anthony!
Megatron is angry. Who dropped a piano on my head? I'm going to want 2 pieces, and I'm going to want their sparks.
Oh, is that where we're at?
Yeah, no, we can't do that. The copyright bots will come right at us within seconds.
Hey, that was like a one millisecond there.
1 millisecond. Because, you know, on our end, like, you know, you'll get that email, and it's like, well, you had a copyright, you know, not a strike, like just a little warning. Don't do it again.
It
Don't do
takes a
it
lot
again.
to get a strike. I
Oh
mean,
my
after
god,
all
guys,
this
the second
stuff-
screw's coming out. Somehow
There
it's
you go.
working now.
Okay, no playing music. No playing
No
music.
playing music, guys.
No playing music. No playing music, or the stream will automatically end.
Yeah. And I only just got the thing off. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. I thought I was done for. Alright, now how do I... What's the next thing I gotta do? Let me look that up real quick. Oh boy.
I don't know. I didn't think I'd get this far.
Yeah. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, Spin, since you're on the subject
Whoa!
of music, and since I alluded to her earlier, it's the song with the red
Alright.
hat, the
Alright.
Get It Shot. And I made a playlist, because she doesn't have a playlist, she only has 4 songs she's released so far.
Okay, the screws are on the tape.
Cool.
1, 2,
Send
3, 4,
send
5,
it
6.
send it to me.
Yeah, it's a
All right,
public
here.
playlist, so
Check,
you look
check
up
this out.
High Road,
You guys see this?
Thank you.
I want to see what Anthony's doing.
This piece right here, this is too wide. I need to sand it down on both sides until it slides smoothly through this chest. Let me pull this out and have a quick look here. No damage, no damage, no damage. You can't see very clearly. Yeah, so what I'm going to do next is pop this mask on so I don't inhale some microplastics. And then I'm going to grab my sandpaper and start sanding it down until it goes smoothly.
So Miner says, my cat hasn't stolen anything yet, but she always rubs her face on what's near the edge of my desk, usually knocking over whatever figures are there. Swindle says, oh scrap. Motormaster, we need to get the moon now, in the famous words of Shaggy and Scooby-Doo. Let's scram.
Yeah, look at this. This is nuts. See, again, you probably can't see it too well, but like, this is supposed to slide down here. It straight up can't. It's too tight. Yeah, whatever. Whatever.
That was too easy.
It's like, I'm just happy I got the thing open, so I'm going to start sanding the hell out of this.
Motormaster says, let's get out of here now and head to the shuttle.
12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23.
We have
24,
questions for
25.
Motormaster and Swindle. You guys are keeping the stream just going nuts. Mario says, for Studio 86 Megatron, I'm wondering if the laser-like blade for the lightsaber-like sword, can some be removable and used as blast effects?
Okay, there we go.
Boy. Well, I don't know. I haven't. Well, nobody should watch the review because the person that did it is horrible, but we'll eventually find out.
We'll eventually find out. Kuga has a suggestion for you, saying you need a size 0. I bought new drivers for this.
Yeah. Well, I got it open. It worked. Finally. This is still way too tight, so more sanding.
Yeah, I took a screenshot of me starting to share I's
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
music video playlists, because she's pretty chill. She'll probably share it on her Instagram as a story and be like, "Oh, thank you." So that might bring her some views.
You know what? That is cool. And I mean, it's just like when we did the shorts
She
for
has a
Black
lot
History
of
Month.
Latinos that like her stuff.
You know,
I've
and then
noticed this is the most random thing.
and for people to come back and say thank you for for mentioning them in our shorts. So that is very cool. And again, channels helping out channels.
Absolutely.
Still way too tight. Well, I mean, it can slide now properly. Before it couldn't slide like at all. So it's a start.
Mr. O, we can't hear you.
Oh yeah, can you hear me now?
There you go.
There you go. So I was about to say, since Anthony had a reveal today, I had a bit of a reveal,
All right.
which I just kind of did a little while ago. If you saw that, I just got myself
What you got?
Mrs. Crusher.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
Who's
it's a
that?
nice
I can't see from
redeco of
here.
that mold,
I don't know.
as well as
It's like
the.
Is that what they named it? Crusher instead of Crasher?
Am I? Hold on. You know what? I'm not wearing my glasses. That's the problem.
Oh, blind.
There we go. Here we go. Oh,
Yeah,
here we
totally.
go.
Disregard the fact that you can't read. Just
Yeah, you know what? You're right.
Okay, all
Yeah,
right.
it is Crusher. I wanted to Crusher, but I thought it was
Snoo.
Crusher.
Leave the snooing but from your
Yeah.
wife, not the toy.
I was actually very happy to find this at Walmart of all places, because normally they don't have anything there. And you guys know I'm a GoBot fan as well. So when I saw this, I was like, "Yep, I gotta pick her up." And
Oh, it's pretty neat. They got her as an IndyCar too.
yeah, and she looks pretty awesome.
I loved her voice in the cartoon. Her voice was so cool.
Yes, it was. Here's the side. We saw the back here. It's in 18 steps, which is great for a guy like me. We got another side here. Oh, back to the front. I'm not opening it in case you guys are wondering why this guy hasn't opened up yet. And that's the bottom. That's the top. Ooh, look at this. It's Tommy Takara. I say if you guys get a chance, pick this up. Pick her up too if you can. But this one here, most likely you're able to pick up. So if you see her at Walmart, it's a really good investment.
I wonder why Crasher got something and not other characters like Copter.
Leader One.
They did get that tree pack that are just I got the green tank dude. I didn't buy the actual tree pack together. I just wanted the green tank. Then they had the redeco of Gears. That's like the orange and pink bot, and then the redeco of Cosmos.
Yeah, because they redid Smallfoot using Gears, but then they made I kind of found it insulting because they kind of made it like pink and yellow. I think Smallfoot was just like a little red pickup truck, and I'm like, this looks nothing like the original GoBot.
Because I got that green Warpath redeco GoBot to go with the actual Warpath, because the way he's able to stash that shield on his shoulders reminds me of the Zaku 2s from the original Gundam. The red being Char's custom, and he's the antagonist of the original Gundam. And then Zaku's just your regular grunt, which is green. And then if I ever got maybe found one for cheap, I would buy a third one of that mold and paint it blue to be a Goth, which looks like a Zaku 2 as well, but in blue.
I think the comments are their own stream. So user Shuttle Blown Up, and please like and subscribe to our channel. Shuttle Blown Up says, Shuttle then blows up and Megatron is seen with the fire of synthetic energon in his eyes, mixed with dark energon, ready to turn Swindle and Motormaster into 4 pieces and their sparks, which Motormaster then replies, Oshikaki, mushrooms, we need to get out of here now, Swindle. What is the plan now? Swindle, what is the plan? We're waiting for Swindle. Mario says, and also, if I am spoiling the Skybow Comics run, just let me know. But how do you feel about their deception of Megatron so far?
Depiction,
I think.
Depiction. Thank you.
Yeah, I like the comic book. I think it's a good retell of a classic story. I love it. I think Anthony and I were in agreement in this.
Yeah,
Everything they've
I
done
like
so
that
far.
they write them like one, two. You can see. Hang on, I gotta count these as I go, so they're even.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 4, 3.
11, 14, 94,
96.
73.
4, 5.
What do they actually say? How many times the sand each side?
No, just well, I mean, because it depends on what kind of sandpaper you're using, right?
Correct.
How fine it is. So you do it until you can slide this through the thing, and it's not doesn't feel tight. It can move fluidly. This is pretty good, actually. I'm still going to loosen it a little bit more, but we're getting there.
Well, actually, for our viewers, what grit sandpaper or what coarseness sandpaper are you using for Omega Prime?
I'm going to be honest here. I don't know. I've had this cube for a very long time. I've used it to sand down a lot of stuff. I lost the label a long time ago. I do not know what it is. But, it served me well throughout several other Transformers modifications.
Well, I
can't be more help.
I guess I can give a kind of a technical question. Does the sandpaper itself feel really rough, or is it kind of not as rough?
It's not as rough. This is like a finer grain.
Okay, cool.
Probably 600, 700 looks like. I'm guessing by looking at it.
You got to send a reporter next time to the house.
Miner says Crasher had a Transformers release before Fracture from Classic Mirage in the 07 movie toy line. I imagine that influenced her getting a new release ahead of other GoBots.
Yeah, she was the first one to really get a Transformers release because they did one in the movie line that was already a repainted Mirage.
Hey, quick question, guys. What is our time zone called officially? I'm making the
I'm in EST,
call out
whatever that is.
iRose right now.
But it's Eastern, although it's
Would it be like EST or something?
It's actually two. During the winter, it's Eastern. During the summer, it is
Eastern.
No, it's EST and daylight savings time. We're no longer in Eastern, so it's actually two.
It's Eastern.
Wait, two.
Thanks, Neil deGrasse Tyson. Okay.
But would if someone was trying to figure out our time zone, the most common abbreviation would be the EST.
The EST. EST, but tell them they may have a variance of 1 hour.
I'll just say EST 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Sundays? That sounds good.
New York, Toronto time zone.
Well, I'll do that.
Let's go back to Muriel's question there to Skybound.
Streaming with Children of Primus. New York.
Yeah, going back to Muriel's question there. Skybound, I think it's phenomenally done. I've mentioned this many times before. I love how they're taking all the different kind of canons that actually belong together, like the G.I. Joe and Transformers universe. They're smashing it together. They're also using some of the old, 80s storyline, like, what's called the Corbala. And they're actually taking some little minor stories, like, for example, from Animaid. Now, in this particular case, it's Cobra Commander that has Megatron all, in prison and keeping him there and making new technology from his body and so forth. But going back to the GoBot, I think this probably be a good time to introduce some GoBots in the Skybound storyline.
I strongly suspect it's not going to happen because Daniel Warren Johnson is like a pure cartoon guy, and I'm unclear if people have been asking him if he's going to include certain characters, and he'll be like, "I'm going to be honest, I don't know who you're talking about."
Oof.
Because he only knows people from the first few seasons of the cartoon. So if he does know about GoBots, I feel like he's probably going to turn out to be disinterested in including them.
Well, I will say you're right. I'm just saying I think this probably be a good time to introduce him into the storyline. Because it actually, for me, regenerated, I guess, my interest back into Transformer with these comic book stories.
Huh,
Because since we
that's
don't
good.
have any proper cartoons that are out right now, or any new movies really that's coming,
There
or
is going to be, I mean, it's probably going to be nothing, but one of the news items that I
mm,
posted was they did a trailer for Cyber
We're
World is
ready to
going to have a
post it.
TV show on YouTube.
Cyber Wars.
Cyber World, it's the new toy line, the one that's a little bit simpler.
Public
Uh,
playlist, your song, YouTube, I made it.
And
Can't hear you.
the premise seems to involve the Autobots going into like a digital dimension and not knowing how they got there and having to compete in like weird games while they try to figure out what's happening.
Mhm.
So a Squid Game.
A little bit. That's very much, in the air right now. Transformers has always done a bit of trend chasing, so
Yeah, but I'm just gonna go back to it. Again, I understand what you're saying about they're not introducing anybody else in these Skybound comic books stories.
okay.
But I'm just saying, I think it's a good time to do that, and I personally believe this will really spark interest again back into Transformers. I think these stories are really good, especially for new generations that are reading about Transformers for the first time. You got a little bit of the old, and you got a little bit of some of the stuff that came out, and some new stuff. And I just love what they're doing. I hope they keep on doing this, and I really do hope to bring some tone lines from there as well.
hmm Okay, so I've decided this is loose enough now,
If he does
and
share
I'm
it,
gonna
it'll be
start
150K people that might see it.
trying to seal
Oh,
it back up. Which, that might be it for tonight after I seal it up, but we'll see. Let me just get all this stuff properly lined up again.
Mario says, like in issue 19 and 20 of Skybound, Megatron gasped this like aura around the explanation for why he's a gun and bending those to his will.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm not even counting this as a spoiler because they teased it from such an early point. But
Mhm.
his thing in this continuity is if he's in gun mode and if you hold him, then he can control your mind.
User Nuke says, tactical nuke incoming, 54321, kaboom. Which Swindle then says, there comes the nuke that plans C out of A, B, C, D, F, G, and H. I've got enough plans to cook Megatron into a good steak.
Megatron
Love
hears that.
Megatron
You need,
hears
to,
that.
you need to change it so you can make Megatron a good steak.
So Kuga's the asking fear, checking back in, any luck opening Prime?
Yes, I got him open. I have sanded the part down. I'm actually sealing him back up now.
Got him loose.
I spent a long time sanding him. I'm just going to leave my mask on until this is done. It's taken care of. I'm putting them back together. Yeah, so things are well in hand. I'm just looking up the quick thing to make sure I have the right screws going into the right place, which I believe I do. But yeah, we finally got it working.
I think there will have to be a part 3, part 4 of Omega Prime.
I know.
Yeah.
It's like this video is becoming like a how to fix Omega Prime there.
That's
Well, that's
exactly
yeah.
not the worst
There,
thing.
there's a particular Instagram guide that I've looked up so many videos of how to do this, but there's a particular Instagram guide I've been using that's been really helpful.
Hold on, Anthony. After this video, those Instagrams or videos that you're watching before, doesn't matter. They're going to be watching this video now, all
Yep.
because of
Yeah,
you.
it's true.
Watching other people doing it.
But yeah, this is like people are right to be annoyed at this because this is a very difficult process. Oh boy.
Yeah, I wouldn't have the patience to do that.
So I guess that throws that question in once again, so at the manufacturing, they sat down, designed, molded, and made all of this, played around with it, transformed it, combined it, before releasing it to the public, couldn't they have done this whole step before sending it off to get it manufactured?
Yeah, nobody's really sure what happened. I mean, most likely, it seemed fine when it was in the computer design phase, and when they made a physical part, it didn't occur to them that it was going to be. I mean, it wound up being too large when it was physically manufactured. I'm not going to tighten these too much because, you don't want to torque them all at the same time. So I'm just putting all the screws back in loosely, and then I'm going to tighten them all up.
I don't know. This might end up being a selling point. These QC issues might end up being a selling point because most of the people who probably ordered that are reveling in doing what Anthony's doing now.
Mm-hmm.
You think that, but listen. As soon as I couldn't get these screws out, I stopped having fun. So, I was sweating over here because I was like, oh Christ, what do I do now? Do I just live with the part that doesn't work and hope that his abdomen doesn't self-destruct sooner rather than later?
It's almost like build your own transformer.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the last time this happened was with Earthrise Grapple, and that's like the Weenie Hut Junior version of what I had to do here. He had a couple of pegs on him that you needed to sand down, otherwise they'd break off. So I was like, oh, I've done that before. I've unscrewed stuff. I'll do this. Oh, my God. This has been a heck of a thing.
Soon crowdfunding Transformers will come with, like a little sticker, buy it as is. Buyer beware.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing, right? Like, I feel like these are not entirely the best screwdrivers to have used for this because I wasn't able to find one that specifically fit, and Kuga pointed that out too. I watched him do his repair like a few days ago. And he had no problems popping these guys out.
So
Okay,
Mario
so
says,
backpack's back on.
Mario says, don't tell you see Megatron in issue 19 and 20 of Skybound has this presence and menace, and as such, an aura to him like it's a version of Megatron that we haven't seen before.
Yeah. By the way, before I lock him up, check out this head sculpt. This is what this version of Optimus Prime looks like. He's familiar, but he's anime and streamlined.
Yeah, it looks like from the exactly what you just said. It looks like Optimus Prime animated without the mouth.
Mm.
Yeah, I like the. I've been rewatching the show a little bit. Because this was coming in, and it's no Beast Wars, it's no Transformers Prime, but it's a very fun little show because the stakes are kind of low compared to a lot of other stuff. It is very much like a back to basics type thing because this came right after Beast Wars and Beast Machines. So if you approach it on that level, it's kind of a fun watch.
Yeah.
Does the Dodge Viper show up in the cartoon?
Yeah. First episode. Character's name. The character Dodge Viper is named Sideburn, and he is the Kid Appeal character. He is the Bumblebee. He is the Hot Rod. And he has this incredibly weird gimmick where he really likes red sports cars, as in he wants them to be his girlfriend, and so he'll chase them around and harass them and flirt with them.
I'm keeping my cliff jumper in the garage then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, straight up.
Well, she has a little bit of red. See, a good time to bring in GoldBots. See, Cyburn would be crashing this one here.
Smallfoot was also red.
Yeah, but like the first episode is there's a bit where he's chasing a sports car because they're robots in disguise, and is hey baby, etc., and the lady in the sports car thinks that some guy is hollering at her, and then he looks out and she's like, wait, why is there no driver? Who's talking to me?
Well, the user Megatron is angry. He says, "You think you can cook me? I will tear you two into two pieces and feed you to the Sharkticons."
I told you should have changed that to make Megatron a good steak.
There you go. Motormaster has replied that Swindle, what's the plan now? Megatron survived the new plan. What's the plan? What's plan D? Please tell me. Swindle then says Plan B is to call in Astro Train and make him beat the crap out of him. Which Motormaster has then said, remember he is dead. Megatron ripped his head off. Remember.
I mean, guys, let's face it. I mean, you've gone way too many steps into this. The last step is to blame Starscream.
Megatron did the give me your face thing? He took
That's
he
an
took my
Optimus
Murder
thing.
Prime gimmick of stealing people's faces? God damn it. What, who's this Megatron? What does he look like so I can take his face for stealing my gimmick? Friggin' asshole.
All right.
Oh, here
It's
goes
all
Megatron.
types of crazies.
What was brains out?
All right, gentlemen, I have sealed him back up. The repairs are complete.
Nice.
Let me just pop his antenna back on and give him his gun. And
Nurse
we can
Ratchet,
have a-
everybody.
Nurse Ratchet.
Why do I have the
And-
feeling that in the future I might see some Transformers at IKEA?
Like at this point, that's exactly what it is.
I'm sitting here watching, Anthony here build that Transformer back together again. I'm like it's IKEA-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Here, give me the screen. Here he is in all of his 2000s anime super robot glory. This is just the core robot. So he combines with his base, and then Ultra Magnus can also combine with him, and that's how you get Omega Prime. Wait, I don't need this light over here anymore. Let me put it someplace more useful. There we go. There he is. And he is huge, by the way. Let me grab a figure for comparison. This is Netflix Optimus, aka Earthrise Optimus, who you'd think he would be the same size as him, but no, he's like significantly bigger than he is. This guy on his own is like a leader class figure. In fact, let me get the Fallen. I have him back here too. An actual leader class figure. Yeah, they're pretty comparable in size. Like, I think Optimus actually weighs more than the Fallen does, and the Fallen's a big guy. So already just the core robot is huge. So, at least you're getting your money's worth, QC issues aside.
Right.
Ugh. Let
Yeah,
me just
I told
clear this
Russell
table off
right
of
now.
all this
Again, still. Oh,
all this
wait, that's his
useful
chair.
junk.
Shit. I thought your chair was you.
Okay.
Some days
Yeah, I thought
feel
I
like
was
It
I'm
does
fused
look
to
like
my
you
chair.
just looks like you pulled up like a scarf around your face and like a hoodie over the top of your head and you got like sunglasses on when you have
Listen,
your chair.
I have a desk job. Some days when I'm really tired and I got to get through the day, I am unsure of where the chair ends and I begin. Yeah. Okay. I feel 10 billion. This has been a journey, but I feel 10 billion times better that he's all together and working
Come at
now.
me, Swindle.
Yeah, this was entirely so he could do this for his transformation, right? Because he's got to do that to go into truck mode.
Wow.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah. So that piece was too tight, and I've now fixed him. Oh, wait. Let me take my mask off.
Hey, yeah,
Oh,
give me
boy.
your face. Hey,
Yeah,
Swindle.
literally post
Say that to
surgery,
me
taking
again,
the scrub
bitch.
mask off.
I got two guns. I got Megatron's gun and my own gun.
This
Bring
guy
that
is
punk back
larger
up
than
on
both of those
damn
guys, and he
street.
can stomp both
Damn
of them.
street.
Let's be real.
Good job, brother.
Whew. Okay, let me change his battle base. I don't know what I got. Well, I don't know what I got time for. What time is it?
Well, it is 10:18, but due to the platform starting about 10 minutes behind, and say we have about another 10 minutes because the comments are a whole TV show and movie episode going of it on its own. So that's
Yeah.
so we've got the unboxing and the repairing of Omega Prime. We also have a whole series of events happening in the comments because Megatron is angry.
Ugh. I'm a little bit like worn out from all of that. Oh boy. All right, let's get this battle base up and running at least. What do I do here? Detach this.
9 minutes and counting. Let's see what we can do within that time.
Let's get them up on the big screen here.
No pressure, Anthony.
No pressure.
Yeah, I did the tough part, so.
We've been sitting here for about an hour just watching you, ready to get this thing, ready to go. Come on, hurry
Anthony,
up. But
spin,
no pressure.
you can spin run it. You can speed run it. Getting the Guinness World Records for being the fastest transformation of this HASLAB toy.
After taking it apart and fixing it and putting it back together again.
Yeah.
You know, that will be a short. We'll just take a whole 2 hours and just make it into like a 1 minute video.
Yeah, just
There's
some
a movable
highlights,
matrix
some
in
major
here.
moments.
Oh, yeah. There's this matrix, which I could pop out if I wanted to, but I'm going to leave it in there. I don't want to lose it.
Well, Swindle has a question for us. He says, "Well, I guess we're safe. Did you guys have questions for me and Motormaster? So do we have questions for them?"
Yeah, why'd you go through so many plans? You know the base plan is to blame Starscream. Or set them, whichever one works first.
Come on, you have to answer for this, Swindle or Motormaster.
Toy warp, say that to him, set them again. We'll come down to Florida and rip your ass off. In your face.
Don't threaten me with a good time. Oh, wait, what?
What?
Which reminds me,
Murder Prime, damn it.
I mean, I don't really watch sports, but I know, unfortunately, and I don't want to bring Mr. O down a whole tirade of a documentary on this one. You know, the Leafs losing once again. I mean, isn't it been like 65 years in a row now? But I just happened to be out when they were playing the Florida game, and they beat Florida silly in Florida. And this is to you, Toy Warp. You guys are some bad losers, because I think at the end, nobody shook hands and they just started fighting and just walked off the ice. And I'm like, you guys just hated us Canadians in that game.
Well, first off,
I don't know what you're talking about.
that kind of goes along with how we fight here on the stream. So, second off, isn't that is what you're supposed to see when you go to a hockey game? You go and see a fight and a hockey game breaks out. I mean,
No,
that's how it's supposed to work anyway.
In the game. But I mean, at some point, they promote, okay, one team wins, one team loses. At the end of the game, everyone's supposed to shake hands and be friendly and stuff. But once the game ended, because I think, I don't remember what the score was. I think either Florida had 0 or they had very little points because we won that game. At the end, I don't recall seeing anyone handshaking, and just a bunch of fights broke out because they were kind of like upset that they lost on their court in a sense.
Was it the Lightning or was it that new upstart
they're in
team?
Florida, which is American Jurassic Park.
Let's
He's like, okay. He's been holding back this whole time.
They're angry all the time because they got to fight off literal T-Rexes down there. And it's so bad that they have emotional support alligators in Florida. It's like a walking blind dog, but for emotions. That you're so
What you talking about, man? You're part of my language. Bleep that out, please. I know it's live, but still. Okay, are you done? All right. So, Spin, I have to correct you a little bit.
Okay.
They shake hands at the end of the series, not after a game.
Oh.
So whoever wins the series, that's when they shake hands.
Thank you.
Okay?
Okay.
So the series not won yet. There's nobody shaking hands. However, during that game, yes, there was some little rough play happening after the whistle, the final whistle that blew.
Yes.
And you have those guys start fighting each other.
Yeah.
Which is pretty common, especially in playoffs.
Makes sense.
Okay? Now, Toy Warp is upset at us Canadians always because we're always constantly invading Florida. That's why. He's getting probably sick and tired of us Canadians coming there buying their land all the time, right?
I watch a lot of those. I watch a lot of those bad driver compilations on YouTube, and they're always from Canada. And you guys bring those driving habits down here? Oh, it's the worst.
Yeah, we have some bad driving down up here.
I'm not
we
gonna
have
comment on that.
we have some bad driving up here.
Not me. Never had an accident.
Yeah, because everyone else was
Hey,
able
look,
to
give me-
avoid you when you got on the freeway without looking.
That's too easy.
I joined traffic now. Good luck, everyone else. Oh, no, that way you got to make it Canadian. I joined traffic. Good luck, everyone else. What's that, a boot?
Sorry.
And if you get in a wreck, you'll magically isekai yourself to Tim Hortons if you do die in your wreck.
Canadians don't die. They just respawn.
Yep, you respawn in Tim Hortons. So I literally have been into Tim Hortons that I live walking distance from, and just had Canadians traveling abroad magically appear in front of me. And respawn.
Sheep and unlocked. Killed another member. Spence doesn't get to respawn. Jesus Christ. Oh man!
Wow.
I need to be
Oh,
charged.
this is why we have. I'm gonna say it. This is why we have the
Who wants to
best
get
Transformers
respawned at fast
channel.
travel to Tim Hortons. I'll take their face off.
We have the best. I think we have the best stream out there.
Seriously.
Okay,
Because
so
honestly,
I got
you
the
know,
battle base
hey,
done at least. If you want to
Battle
give me the
base.
screen for a second.
What an irony.
Yeah. Give me the screen, yo.
There you go.
This is new to press.
All right, yo.
Hold on, man. He's still trying to respawn.
Yo. Why is the dark
So this
saber
is-
on top of the table there for a second? Can you answer that one question, please? Yes.
This is the Matrix Blade, and their big giant combined form where this guy and this guy fuse is big enough that it uses this as a weapon.
Okay, I could have sworn that's the dark saber there from
That
Transformers
is,
Prime.
it's the Matrix Blade.
Okay.
Like I said at the top of the stream, the original Car Robots toy, there was a store exclusive version of it that came with the Fortress Maximus's sword, G1 Fort Max, because you know how he had a sword in Japan, the original one did. So they repainted it, gave it to him. So this is a new version of that.
I see.
Yeah. Ooh. So this is the battle base. Got the thing up here. Got Fort Max in the seat here. Got. You can tell it's like meant to form his super robot form because he's got like his hands and his head there and everything. But
You know what that looks like for a second?
what?
It looks like.
Don't.
No, hold on. Wait, no. What do you mean, don't go there. It actually looks like one of those
Pull up my
games
face on
at a
screen.
fair. You know when you have the big hammer and you hit it and you try to
Yes.
ring the bell?
Yep.
That's what it looks like.
That's exactly what it looks like.
Either that or the power tower you ride that the hydraulics send you up and down really fast.
Oh, that's
Mhm.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just fixated on how loud this ratchet is.
I didn't think
Yeah.
because I'm delayed, watching on YouTube. I kept hearing that sound and you not explaining it, and I thought you were like shooting off a cap gun or something.
He's cracking his back.
No, it's just got a really tight ratchet. Here's all the
Wow.
missiles and stuff, by the way.
Torb, did you say you're delayed?
Torwarp got respawned only yesterday, and he lost off his memory of like the old '80s original G1 toys that had like ratchet joints and stuff. The sound
Hey,
it
that's
would
the
make.
first thing that's downloaded. Okay.
Well, the Unicron.
Yeah, I got delay
So
on
you do
YouTube.
come
I
out.
mean, I'm good. I'm a good 45 seconds behind here. Because you guys are all in front of your computer or your phone, doing the streaming, but my computer's doing the streaming in the other room, so I can be in front of the cases here. So I got to watch, what we're doing on YouTube like everybody else, like all
Like
the
a
rest
filthy
of the
peasant.
peasants. So yeah, it's always delayed for me.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe, peasants.
Wow.
Smash that notification.
Speaking of
Yeah.
peasants, Swindle says the reason why is because 2 streams ago, Megatron ripped Starscream in half and killed him, and for a while now, Motormaster has been Megatron's punching bag.
That's a really big punching bag.
Yeah, it's And Swindle says, long story short, Starscream didn't make Megatron a sandwich fast enough and, well, teared him in half and killed him.
That
First
tracks.
of
Well, he
all,
really has a thing for
first of
gills.
all, you say sandwich.
Tell us that you're not going to follow and subscribe on social media, and Grandma Seiko cosplayers will come after you and beat the crap out of you until you do.
That was
Sandwich.
a lot of words.
This is a
Sedum,
grandmother.
I don't, Sedum, I don't know what you're on, but I need some.
I'm on Prozac.
I need some.
20 milligrams.
Sandwich.
Jeez.
Sandwich.
Hey, it's a Mario.
Yeah. Mario says, someone needs to recreate the last page of Skybound issue 16 where Laserbeak finds Megatron. Well, I don't know if that's going to be a spoiler if we're talking about the last page
I've seen
of...
on some of the Facebook groups people making customs of that scene.
Okay, so
You're
however
talking about when Laserbeak finds Megatron and he plugs his Laserbeak's eyes to his own so he can see or whatever it is he does.
I think that is
Yeah.
what he's
I
referring
will say,
to.
one thing that I do seem to have had some pretty good luck with this guy, and that I've been checking for QC errors as I go, and he doesn't seem to have any of the other problems. Like Ultra Magnus is not yellowed, nothing else on him is broken. So outside of having to do the fix, I do seem to have been lucky enough to not get one with any of the other problems that people have been talking about.
Oh, which, yeah. I mean, we should have mentioned that because I know in that other Facebook group, what are some of the other problems that people have mentioned with this Omega Prime?
Ultra Magnus yellows. There was a part of him that was like really yellowed. I'm just looking at it through the gaps here. Some of them were missing his faction symbol there up front. Some of these guys had like duplicate parts, like 2 left hands, 2 right hands. That doesn't seem to be the case here. I could always find more things, but all the obvious problems don't seem to be present. And like I said at the top of the stream, my acquisition of this was such a fortunate circumstance that if I run into any tiny problems, I'll just be like, eh. Point is, he works properly, so...
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. I had my tomatoes ready. I'm telling you what.
Oh, yeah, heel spurs I didn't know about.
I think
I didn't really
Torwarp
look
is
at
going to be my fairy plant my tomatoes finally godfather. I'll just see him when I'm like high magically without knowing how, and like he'll just appear to me as a little fairy about the size of a deluxe class transformer, and he'll be like, "Fucking tomatoes finally!"
Man, I don't know what to do about you pouring out these sexual fantasies of yours online, but really, it's got to be a little more couth.
That's it. One stream is just going to be Toy Warp versus Sedum.
Oh yeah, Toy Warp. Do you know the Pequa area, Piqua at all?
I don't think so.
Okay, I found out the other day the person who runs the people I get a lot of my gacha from. They have a Japanese food market, and then they have other gacha station, and that's where they're based at it. And like, regardless of whether I go by car or bus, it would be 40 minutes either way. So I might just one day just go ride the bus out there, and they're right by a major park. So I might go to that park, go to their shop, and then hit their gacha stuff up and actually meet them, because me and that person's talked a lot, but we never actually met.
And then you're just going to like roll up on Toy Warp and say, yo.
Listen, if that person that you meet has a white badge, don't go with it.
This is my
even though you meet that person for the first, even though you talk to each other online, you're meeting for the first time, don't get into the white man, okay?
There's a catfish story waiting to happen.
Exactly.
Hey, some good friends of mine are internet people that I've never met in person. A couple of them were in the chat tonight.
Actually reminds me,
This
like
is true.
one of my gaming friends from 2013, 2014, the wife was from where I was in Central Virginia, and the husband, who I played the games with, was based out of Canada. And I remember, and he thought Central Virginia bad. I was like, oh, you should go to Florida, buddy. If you think Virginia's too hot, you would have been just dying as soon as you go outside and just
You
explode.
know nothing of heat and humidity. I was born in 100-degree weather. Didn't see anything under 100 till after I was a man, and then it just felt cold.
Yeah, there we go. There's the
And you
obvious
had to
reference.
wrestle a dozen of alligators one way every day walking to school. Hurricanes.
You know what? I wouldn't mind some Florida weather right now, considering the entire month of May was basically an extension of winter. Like, it was just rain for like a week and a half straight.
We had
10
95 degrees today.
Like, it was just it's still freezing, and it's June.
Fuck.
Gross.
I can't plant my tomatoes.
Yeah,
With
don't
my
say
hockey
the
sticks.
four-letter bad words around Toy Warp of snow and rain. You can
Cold.
say shit and the F word, but you don't say snow and rain on stream in front of him.
Rain, I'm not so much afraid of. Cold, snow, jail, work, walk.
Okay.
Those are all
If it's rain down in Canada,
Walk.
then you don't want it. Because Canada rain will break me out. I can always tell when it's a rainstorm from Canada, from the Great Lakes in Canada, versus rain that went all the way up from the Gulf of Mexico to the Great Lakes region. I can always tell the difference because the cold, like the Canadian rain, freaking breaks me out if I get caught in it. It sucks.
Actually, I can confirm that.
Yeah,
so
he's
he's not just talking crazy for once.
He is actually correct. When
Yeah.
it starts going up the eastern board, if it's going north or south, it is completely different.
Yep. And then, like, with me being in a glacier valley, and I know that I've said this plenty of times, you're stuck. You're in a pot, basically. It's like being in a stewing pot. So if it's cold, even if it's like 60 degrees, if it's like drizzling, it'll feel like it's 40 because you're stuck. The humidity in the rain has nowhere to go. Whereas Virginia and the coastal plains, the air gets sucked. Most of it, the worst of it gets blocked by the mountains if it comes from the west. And if it goes out to the ocean, it gets sucked out by the Atlantic. So it's cooler, and after it rains in the summer in Virginia, whereas up here it gets freaking hotter. I'm like, what the hell? This crap
What the hell
makes
was
no
that?
sense.
Spin, what was that?
I don't know. How did you pull that off?
What happened? I've been transforming my guy.
Well, that's the only Transformer thing that's been happening on this show so far.
Yeah, we just listened to a 30-minute dissertation from Sedum about the weather. Yeah,
I know it.
Well, Motormaster,
I'm not.
Motormaster has fed him to Ravage. Mario says in stop motion form to recreate the last page of Skybound issue 16. Swindle says Megatron is dead and has been fed to Ravage.
Nice.
Richard, we haven't seen in a while. Hey, Richard,
hey,
how's
buddy.
it going?
Hey,
Says,
Richard.
hello, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well. Finally able to catch you guys stream for once. Life has been crazy lately. Hope to see you guys at TFCon if you are. And we will be there this year. So attending, wishing, and also says wishing you guys the best. And Professor D, who's also hiding in the comments. It's everyone. The comments are on fire tonight, and it says, "But where is?"
Yes.
I don't know. ...
27.
I don't know.
The answer is always 27.
All right. Big C.
11-2.
X.
Solve for X.
Where is X?
Y
Mark
equals
spot.
3.
By the way, who did the that screening of the first 5 episodes of the original Transformers within the last year? Was that like
Yeah, we
G
were all
Kids or
there.
someone else?
Yeah,
We were
It
there.
was Fathom Events.
Phantom Events, okay. I was trying to remember because I sometimes see G Kids and Phantom Events, and like I got G Kids, and they're going to be showing a rated R series. I'm like, the first 3 episodes is the next season. It's like, go figure. But then you'll go to a Phantom Event, and it's for like a rated G movie. Make that make sense.
I've seen R-rated movies at Fathom Events before.
Oh, I know there are. I mean, I think they did Minecraft Plus. I think that was Phantom Events, and they did End of Evangelion, and that you see the end of the world, and it's like we used to call me and my childhood friend Lorenzo. We used to call this. There's the Comsuser Todd sequence which means come sweet death, and it's like literally the world's ending. Everyone's souls are being ripped, like their bodies are just breaking down into like orange liquid, and everybody's souls are becoming one with God and stuff, and as mecha do mecha stuff.
Cool. As we have 5 minutes left, the comments are running crazy once again. Face Ripper Optimus says hello, Professor D. Swindle says hello, Professor D. Miner is asking, I'm back. How's Omega Prime going?
I got him fixed. I'm currently building his super mode. Just the Optimus super mode, not the Omega Prime super mode.
I feel cheated now.
Well, well, much like everybody that had to repair their HASLAB felt. Oh, hang on. Gotta get all the connections secured.
Special Agent Plunger Man also says hello to Professor D. Megatron is angrier. And Mudflap also says hello to Professor D. So does Soundwave, and so does Devastator is your mom. And Professor D then replies, hello, Dark Knight, and all other fellows.
Come on. Oh, I need more light. I gotta line up some things up back here.
Saying that we were on the subject of GoBots earlier, I remember seeing some artwork of Megatron being a gladiator and actually killing Psykill. Was that just random artwork, or was that from a certain comic?
That is from a comic called Megatron Origins by IDW. Yeah, okay. It's about exactly what it says on the title.
Nice.
And they don't identify Psykill by name, right? But that's who he is. You can it's Psykill, and it just one issue just opens with him fighting him in a gladiator arena, so it's just like a little cameo.
I think that's
it was early IDW, correct, and a miniseries to boot.
Yeah, but that's when Hasbro had purchased GoBot.
Hasbro purchased GoBot in 1991.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Hasbro purchased GoBots in 1991 because that's when they acquired Tonka.
Oh, was that late? Oh, shit. I thought it was around the 2000s, to be honest.
No.
Oh, never mind. I learned something new today, people.
Hasbro, till all are one.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I'm having trouble combining this guy. I'm going to take some of his armor off.
What is that about all media IPs being one under one entity?
Yeah, it'd be really nice in like the Skybound comics where they're doing Transformers and G.I. Joe, but you might see like Mass's Thunderhawk in the background, or just something else from that universe.
Can we talk about the Free Comic Book Day issue yet? Has the embargo passed on spoilers? Because I really want to let that out.
Oh, let that out, man. Who cares? I want to know about Free Comic Book Day. I like free.
The unexpected surprise cameo was Matt Tracker, which is funny because Toy Warp, you called it. But not only was it Matt Tracker, it was specifically the version of Matt Tracker from IDW Comics. So like a variant version of him. So nobody was expecting Matt Tracker already, but also nobody was expecting that version of Matt Tracker to ever appear again. That's fine. It's fine. We're good. It's a little pop-off piece. It pops right back on. So yeah, Mask is a thing in Skybound now. We don't know if they're going to get a miniseries or whatever, but Matt Tracker was there.
I love it.
The story is one of the G.I. Joes, I forget which one, because I don't know too many of them, finds Hound injured, and he's like, I know a guy, so he takes him to Matt Tracker for repairs. And that's like the subject of the issue. And, Ravage was following them, so there's a fight, but yeah, Matt Tracker, Free Comic Book Day. Mask is going to be there.
Cool.
And look at what I just did. I got the super mode finished. So this is Optimus combined with his base. And you can sling this over his shoulder, and unlike the original toy, it'll stay standing if you sling it over his shoulder. I think I'm supposed to snap it in here on the backpack. There we go.
That thing is huge.
And there's like guns sculpted on the end there.
Thank you.
So this is a big advantage of this one. This guy's stable enough you can do this, and he'll stay standing up.
I don't know.
Yeah,
that piece doesn't look right on it. I don't know.
Hey, at least it's not
Wait,
the
wait.
Erector Transformer where Ladder's in the other spot.
Okay, now he's tilting a little bit, but to be fair, that's a heavy thing to carry. Let me just.
Yeah, I know how that feels.
It's Kurt Levy. It is indeed heavy.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
it's
don't
too
think I
easy.
quite transformed the backpack correctly. There we go. There we go. I got it locked in. He's nice and stable now. Gee, I don't know. I don't know what y'all are talking about. I don't know what's wrong with y'all.
Purple
You're
is
giggling like
my problem.
schoolboys because we have about the same age mentality. Yeah.
The Children of Primus does not.
Sure
Yeah,
we
exactly.
do.
Five brain cells
What are you
between
talking
five
about? Sure we do. We do
Yeah,
promote the
right.
stuff.
Don't lie to the people, Spin.
No,
Don't
the
lie.
Impactor has
Don't lie.
five on his own. He's like the meme where it's like you have a group and it's like 99.9% of the brain cells are Impactor, and then all of us old farts are the 0.9.
Hey, I usually have way more brain cells. I've just been on an emotional journey this whole evening because I went from like despair to happiness and back again. I'm very happy this guy works now and that he's fixed. He's really impressive in person. Let me get some height comparisons here. And
as
this
we
isn't
move-
even the biggest. This isn't even the biggest configuration, right? I haven't even touched Ultra Magnus, right? I don't have time for that tonight because this guy has his own robot mode, and then you can put him on here to make the biggest guy, the guy that uses the sword. So here he is next to the Fallen. So, like, straight up, this is a Commander class figure, basically. That's what you're buying. 2 Commander class figures, a little deluxe that I haven't even gotten into, a little
Yeah,
Titan
isn't it-
Master.
Magnus' gun, that blue whatever.
Yeah. A giant bunch of stands, which are not even fully built. I just dropped a part of it. Yeah,
Get
there's a
yourself together
lot in
there,
here. I've
Anthony.
barely scratched the surface. It is a damn shame that they're all busted and need fixing, like I did. But you know what? Thanks to Edgar, who was nice enough to come back and check that I'd managed to get it fixed. I don't mind that I had to fix it because I got such a good, such a sweetheart of a deal on it. So again, big thanks to him, and check him out on Blue Sky and on Tumblr. Let me. Can you put his stuff on screen? Do you have it?
I strongly suggest that all of us give Anthony a round of applause for doing all this on our channel today. There you go.
Oh yeah, I'm like emotionally spent because I was like, oh
Yeah,
no,
pat on the
I
back.
can't fix it. Everything's broken.
And a round of applause to how Mr. Fair Courage got Omega Prime.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm gonna
Scarego's
just-
giving me claps.
Are you clucking?
I was trying. That was my sound of Scareglow clamping.
Oh, great. Now when Americans die, we're going to respawn at KFC because of you.
Here, just give me a second. I'm gonna send Edgar's Blue Sky here to spin.
Yes, send it to me, and I will get that on the screen as we're about to round up a few comments. Mario says, guys, my comment
went through the pits of despair.
about my
I'll
idea
explain
for
when I'm done.
recreating the scene in Skybound issue
Alright,
16
I
in
can
stop
have-
motion, have Laserbeak not alone to be accompanied by Skywarp, Thrust, Reflector, and Frenzy to find Megatron. And I see Anthony's comments. I'm going to hit that on the screen. And let's see. Transformers is cool says, hello, Professor D. Masterpiece is now dead. That's
Well, long live MPG, which is literally just more Masterpiece. They were like, oh, we're starting over, and then everything kept going the same way.
wow.
It's like what Marvel does.
Oh, you know what? You know who
like
they're making? They're
resetting
making
numbers every
Masterpiece
time.
Hauler.
Really?
Yeah, but just by taking Masterpiece Grapple and painting him green, obviously, but still, he
Mhm.
finally exists.
Oh, my goodness.
More money.
There we go. And well, of course, it's throwing an icon into it, but here is Minor Edgar, where you can find him on Blue Sky. He's
Yeah, M115 Edgar.bluesky.social. That's the part you want.
and that is it.
I don't know why it came out like that when I sent it to you, but
I don't know either.
Uh,
but
really good artist. His art gallery links there. Everybody go give it a look. It's great stuff. And you know, I happen to know him, and he happened to have a spare Omega Prime, which is here because FedEx goofed.
Yeah, so definitely gonna add his information in the description, because a lot of thanks goes to him for us to have an Omega Prime in our stream. Mario says, dude, that will be how I depicted that scene of Skybow issue 16 in stop motion where Laserbeak is by Laserbeak, however not alone, which with is Skywarp, Thrust, Reflector, and Frenzy. Impactor, who's still hiding in the comments, says, I'm also at 295 subs on my channel, 5 away from 300. So we gotta give a shout out to Impactor as well.
And Blue Bolts is cool, and I ain't even talked about her yet. It's this is just a full deluxe sized figure, so like this could be its own thing.
Cool. Miner says, the Joe is Clutch, the driver specialist.
Yeah, Clutch, that's who it was.
Oh, and also he says to you, thank you, Fear. Glad I could pass on the arrow in my favor.
Yeah, me too. I didn't think I was going to get to own this guy like every other HasLab, and I'm glad it was this one because this is the one that I most regretted not getting out of all of them because I liked that show and I had the original figures, but they never quite worked for me. I mean, this one I needed to fix it, but it's still more functional than the original was to me, I think.
Yeah, I'd say for me, if there's anyone else has like HasLabs you would like to see, I would like if they did Manga Boss, so the lion,
From
the
Beast
elephant,
Wars.
eagle combiner, and then whatever. I think in the the U.S. toy line, it was probably Pedicus, and I don't remember where it's like it's the group of guys behind the Decepticons and Beast Wars you see sometimes.
The Tripreticus Council.
Yeah, and then in the Japanese Beast Wars, trying to think the word. I think they were in Beast Wars second. They were like a Maracha band of good guys.
Now, this series is difficult to find to watch, isn't it?
Okay.
It's on YouTube.
Look it up on YouTube. You'll find it. I shared a link in our Discord server. If you go there under Tales of the Transformers to a full playlist. Because, like I said, it hasn't been officially released in a long time because the English dub is now owned by Disney because they bought Saban stuff. I guess they don't want to deal with them. So it hasn't gotten an official release, but you can find it all over YouTube because everybody's like, well, nobody's releasing it officially. It's free real estate, But yeah, I found a really nice 4K playlist of the whole show. It's 39 episodes, and 3 of those are clip shows that you can skip, so it's really 36 episodes. It's light, It's like the world's not in danger as much. There's a lot more humor, but it's pleasant to watch. It's very G1, except for the fact that they got like anime super robots and stuff, and people, combine and call their attacks and all that stuff. But yeah, it's a good watch,
That's what I wanted to make clear to our audience.
Mm-hmm.
So do I go watch it?
You see something wrong?
I will say this: give it 2 episodes because I think the first episode's kind of weak because not a lot happens in it, and it's really heavy on the exposition. Give it 2 episodes and then see what you think.
On that note, I say we're round up for the evening. I know our feature was for Omega Prime, so we'll definitely have more Omega Prime in next week's stream. There's still the Ultra Magnus segment of it.
Yeah, let me tell you what I got going on. I did take photos for an entirely different review, just as a backup. It's of Heinrad, the raccoon alarm clock, because I posted some photos promoting this with him, and a few people expressed interest in him. So that might come out before this guy, because I'm starting from scratch right now. I'm going to need time to write this up and take photos, because as you can see, there's a lot here.
Mm-hmm.
So it will come when it's done,
You'll get it when you get it,
I can't remember.
Yeah.
Have you seen Beast Wars Neo yet or not?
No, I should watch those.
No, okay, I'll keep quiet about Henrad. There's some interesting surprises for some.
Is he like a Time Lord? Because he feels like he'd be a Time Lord.
There is the power. He has time control powers like Hero from Heroes, but there's an utter surprise. Let's just say he plays ignorant.
Oh, interesting.
And like he's. Yeah, I'm not gonna. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to. It's a towards the end series surprise.
All right. Impactor says I'm at 299. He needs one more. So
Hey, if anybody in the comments wants to go to Impactor Productions on YouTube and subscribe, that would make his day.
do it.
It
Do
will.
it.
I already did, or I do it.
Do it.
Yep, we've done it. So
Do it.
subscribe to Impactor.
Do it, Anakin,
Our
do it.
youngest member, subscribe to us. And as we see at the end of all of our streams, to all are one.
Till
Till all our